I graduated with $1 million in student loan debt. Here is what happened next. Picture this. You just finished years of school. You have the degree. You have the license. You have the career you worked toward for the better part of a decade. You sit down one afternoon to calculate exactly where you stand financially. And the number on the screen is $1 million. Not your net worth. Your debt. This is not a hypothetical. This is not a worst-case scenario designed to scare you. This is a real phone call from a real person named Justin, a 28-year-old orthodontist in Florida who called into a financial radio show to ask one question. How do I attack $1 million in student loan debt when my interest alone is $5,800 every single month? Before you say that will never be me. Stay with this. Because the math Justin is dealing with is an extreme version of a problem that millions of Americans are navigating right now at smaller scales. And the principles that determine whether Justin makes it or drowns are the exact same principles that determine whether someone with $30,000 or $50,000 or $80,000 in student loans builds wealth or spends the next decade running in place. Here is Justin's situation in exact numbers pulled from the actual conversation. Total student loan debt. Just over $1 million, monthly interest accruing on that debt, approximately $5,800. That means, before Justin reduces his principal by a single dollar, he owes $5,800 just to keep the balance from growing, every month, automatically, whether he works or not. Current income, approximately $250,000 per year, gross working 6 days a week. 3 days at an established orthodontist practice for a steady paycheck. 3 days building his own new practice that he just opened 2 months ago with his fiancée. After taxes, his take-home is significantly lower than $250,000, but his income potential as the new practice grows is substantially higher. He and his fiancée are planning to get married in April. His question to the financial advisor was specific. Should I enroll in income-based repayment at $3,000 a month and use the remaining $7,000 to knock out individual smaller loans? Or should I cover the full interest first and then attack the principal? The advisor's answer was blunt and worth understanding because it applies to every person carrying significant debt, regardless of the amount. The income-based repayment option at $3,000 a month sounds strategic. Pay the required minimum. Use the extra to eliminate smaller loans one by one. Check them off the list. Build momentum. Here is the math problem with that approach. Justin's interest is accruing at approximately $5,800 per month. His income-based payment is $3,000. The difference, $2,800, is landing on his balance as additional debt every single month. He is paying $3,000 and his balance is growing by $2,800. He is moving money from one pocket to another while the total debt quietly expands. The advisor called it moving the pea under a different shell. You feel like you are making progress because some smaller loans are disappearing. The math says your total debt is increasing. Both things are true simultaneously. And in a situation as extreme as Justin's, the emotional comfort of checking off small loans is not worth the mathematical cost of letting the interest compound unchecked. The only real progress on a debt this large is paying more than the total monthly interest every single month without exception. For Justin, that means the first $5,800 of every payment goes to stopping the bleeding. Every dollar above $5,800 actually reduces the principal. At $10,000 per month, that is approximately $4,200 in real principal reduction per month. Slow, grinding, unglamorous, but mathematically real in a way that the income-based strategy is not. Now, here is the part of Justin's story that matters for everyone listening, regardless of their debt level. The advisor said something that applies to every person who has ever graduated with significant debt and a high income potential at the same time. You have to act like you are a broke college student because you are a broke orthodontist. Justin earns $250,000 a year. By almost any conventional measure, that is an excellent income. By the measure of his actual financial position, $1 million in debt at $5,800 per month in interest. He is not wealthy. He is deeply underwater with a large shovel. The trap that high-income debtors fall into is the income trap. The salary arrives and signals safety. The car upgrade feels earned. The restaurant habit feels reasonable. The vacation feels justified after years of school and sacrifice. The house feels like the logical next step after getting engaged. Every single one of these decisions makes emotional sense and mathematical catastrophe simultaneously. At $250,000 gross income, Justin's take-home after federal and state taxes in Florida is approximately $165,000 to $175,000 annually, roughly $14,000 per month. His interest alone consumes $5,800 of those dollars before he buys a single meal. If he targets $10,000 per month toward debt, he has approximately $4,000 left for everything else: rent, food, transportation, insurance, the wedding, everything. $4,000 a month for two people to live on while earning $250,000 a year. That is what winning looks like in Justin's situation. Not comfortable, not rewarding, mathematically necessary. The advisor was not being dramatic. He was being precise. No vacations, no new car, no house, no restaurants, food and water and electricity and everything else on the debt, for as long as it takes. How long does it take? Here is the math at different monthly payment levels. At $10,000 per month, $5,800 covering interest, $4,200 reducing principal. Justin pays off $1 million in approximately 20 years, assuming the interest rate stays constant and the balance does not grow. 20 years of maximum discipline starting at 28 means debt-free at 48. At $15,000 per month, achievable if the new practice grows as projected, approximately $9,200 goes to principal reduction every month. At that rate, $1 million is gone in approximately 9 years, debt-free at 37. At $20,000 per month, the number Justin mentioned hoping to reach as income grows, approximately $14,200 goes to principal. $1 million paid off in approximately 6 years. Debt-free at 34 with an income that has no debt attached to it and decades of compounding ahead. The math is brutal, and the math is also hopeful. The same numbers that make the debt terrifying make the payoff achievable if the income is protected and the lifestyle stays compressed. Now, here is what Justin's situation teaches everyone who is not an orthodontist with $1 million debt, but is carrying $30,000 or $50,000 or $80,000 in student loans on a $55,000 salary. The principles are identical, only the scale is different. Principle 1. Always pay more than your monthly interest. If your student loan balance is growing despite making payments, you are not making mathematical progress. You are managing a number that is getting larger. Find the minimum payment that covers your full monthly interest charge, and treat everything above that as the real payment. Everything below that is just a participation fee. Principle 2. Your income is not your wealth. Justin earns $250,000 and is broke. Someone earning $55,000 with $30,000 in student loans and no other debt is in a meaningfully stronger position than Justin, despite earning 1/5 of his income. Wealth is not what you earn. It is what you keep after debt service. Calculate your real financial position by subtracting your total debt from your total assets. That number, not your salary, is where you actually stand. Principle 3. High income and high debt require extreme lifestyle compression. The bigger the debt relative to income, the more aggressively the lifestyle needs to compress while the debt exists. This is not punishment. It is math. Every dollar that goes to a restaurant or a car payment or a vacation while high-interest debt exists is a dollar that costs significantly more than its face value because of the interest it could have eliminated. A $50 dinner when you are carrying $5,800 a month in interest is a $50 decision with a significantly larger long-term cost attached to it. Principle 4. The shovel matters more than the strategy. Justin asked about debt payoff strategies. Income-based versus interest. First versus smallest balance first. The advisor's answer was essentially that the strategy matters less than the size of the payment. A large payment on a simple plan beats a small payment on a sophisticated strategy every time. Find the largest monthly payment your income can support, without creating genuine hardship. Make that payment every month, without exception. The strategy can be refined later. The payment cannot wait. Principle 5. Income growth is the accelerator, not the excuse. Justin's income will grow as his practice builds. When it does, every additional dollar of take-home income that does not immediately become lifestyle expansion becomes a weapon against the debt. The moment income growth becomes lifestyle growth, the payoff timeline extends. The moment income growth becomes accelerated debt payment, the math changes dramatically. This applies at every income level. The raise that goes to a nicer apartment extends the debt. The raise that goes to double the monthly payment cuts years off it. Here is the honest reality for Justin, and for everyone carrying significant student loan debt on a normal salary. There is no clever strategy that makes $1 million in debt comfortable. There is no income-based repayment plan that makes the interest stop accruing. There is no financial hack that substitutes for the math of paying more than the interest every single month for as many months as the debt requires. What there is, in Justin's case, and in the case of everyone who graduated into significant debt, is a choice made in real time every single month. Send the money to the debt or spend the money on the life. Both choices feel reasonable in the moment. Only one of them ends the debt. Justin has a great shovel. He has an income that most people will never earn. He has a career with growth potential that most people will never access. And he has a debt that most people will never have to face. The combination of those three things means that the next 10 years of Justin's financial life will be defined entirely by one variable: whether the lifestyle stays compressed long enough for the income to do the work the math requires. The advisor thinks he will make it. So do I. Here is your challenge for the next 24 hours. Whether your student loan balance is $10,000 or $100,000, do one calculation today. Find your exact monthly interest charge on every loan you carry. Add them together. That is your break-even number, the minimum payment that keeps your balance from growing. Now look at what you are currently paying. If your payment is below that number, you are not paying down debt. You are managing a balance that is getting larger every month while feeling like you are making progress. Know your number, then make a plan to exceed it, because the difference between debt that shrinks and debt that grows is not the strategy you choose. It is whether the payment clears the interest line every single month without exception. If this changed how you think about debt, yours or someone else's, share this video with someone who needs to run these numbers today. And if you want honest financial content every single week, real situations, real math, real outcomes, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Every week we publish content that turns complicated financial situations into clear decisions. You should not be figuring this out alone.